I was just saying something. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I think that the more you see of this game and what they do with it post-launch is really going to mold my video, and I think that's really why I wanted to delay my big Valhalla video, because I think that this game is going to change drastically over the next 12 months. I mean, I've already privated my first initial thoughts and my video where it's called Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game back in touch. Yeah, I've privated those because I just don't agree with what I said. It's definitely not a game back in touch. And I think that that was quite ignorant of me to make that video, to be honest with you. It was my knee-jerk reaction to the good things in the game. I think when it comes down to it, I just am a positive person. And it might be funny saying that, considering how negative I am in videos. But I think the reason I positively knee-jerk so many things is because I do focus on those positives on a first-time run-through. Like, I want to like things, so I end up focusing on those things, those positive things. What's that fucking chicken doing? I end up focusing on those positive things, and then later on realizing, wait, they don't matter as much as I thought they did. And it's so difficult to judge, like, how, like, it takes time to see what shines through more. Like, on a first playthrough, yeah, all those good things are so good, and, like, the bad things, you can push them aside, because who cares, because the good things are there, and they're in your face, and you're in the moment. But then in 12 months' time, when I look back at the game, what's going to stand out more to me in my memory? Is it going to be the bugs, the glitches, the missed pacing, the fact that it's focused on being a Viking? Or is it going to be those good things that I love? What's going to stand out more to my mind in 12 months' time? And that's what matters in making a long-term video that is on the same sort of wavelength as an Odyssey broke me. And so it's just, I got to wait. I've got to wait. I've got to wait to be able to make that video. Seeing more of the post content like this, what they do with gear packs, monetization, rebalancing of the game to push microtransactions, and what they actually do with the DLC, which I am calling it now, Wrath of the Druids and Siege of Paris. I'm sorry, but this is my take. I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but my take is that they're both going to be absolute fucking garbage. They're going to be Odyssey level, absolute trash. That's my take. That's genuinely what I think of both of those DLC, and I would love to be wrong. I really would love to be wrong, but I genuinely think that they're both going to be on the level of, at the very best, they're going to be on the level of like a Essex arc. You know, like, yeah, maybe Essex isn't as bad as Odyssey, but does that distinction matter? Not really. And I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong, and if I'm wrong, it'll be a pleasant surprise. But that's what I think. I think they put everything into the main game, and then post-game is just going to be drivel. Because the only people that could possibly produce quality content are not working on it. And the only reason we got anything that's half decent in the main game is because you've got your people like Darby, you've got your Jesper kids, you've got, you know, the people that worked on AC1 and stuff working on level design, things like that. Like, you know, fucking the guy that did level design on AC1 worked on Vinland. That's why it's so fucking good. And even Tyler likes Vinland, you know? So those sorts of things. Whereas the DLC, you know, it'll be shoved off to a side team, a side narrative team. People that, one, don't get Assassin's Creed, two, don't even get the main game of Valhalla, and three, just, you know, are this side team at Ubisoft. They're not the big guys. They're not the main guys, you know? And that's just what I expect is going to happen. Like I said, could be wrong. But I suspect otherwise. And also, like, for anyone that hopes there's going to be, you know, oh, Assassins in the DLC, maybe, I genuinely don't believe it for a second. It shows to me that everything post-launch that they want to do is Viking-related. They want to focus on that, and even if you look at the main game was all Viking-oriented. And that's what they want to do. They want to make a Viking game. That Assassin stuff is in there because Darby pushed for it, because, you know, that team pushed for it. Not because Ubisoft wanted in there. Post-launch, Ubisoft have full control. It's not the dev team of Valhalla. It's, you know, that's what happens with these games. For post-launch, for DLC, Ubisoft can go, right now, we have full fucking control. What sells? How can we push more microtransactions? How can we market this game to this audience of people that will buy into this shit? And they do it through shipping it off, giving it off to these other teams. These other teams that don't care. They're just, you know, they're just the teams that Ubisoft point at and go, you do this thing. You know, they've had all passion fucking sapped from them. They're teams that exist in Ubisoft specifically to churn out this garbage. And that's exactly what we're going to get with this DLC. And the thing is, right, in terms of, like, Assassin's Creed fans of genuine Assassin's Creed, They're so few and far between that it doesn't really matter. And even if there's you know, a decent amount of people that would love an assassin-based game, they're content with garbage at this point, that they won't bother speaking out. That you'll find a lot of people be like, yeah, like Brotherhood's my favorite game, Black Flag's my favorite game, you know, Revelations, you know, AC2, AC3, these are you know, this is my favorite game. And it's because they love Assassins and Assassin's Creed, but they're so content with this garbage now that they'll still defend it and be like, well, you know, it's something different, and I still enjoy it anyway. And it's like, that's good for Ubisoft, you know. Unless you're firmly against it, you're not a threat to this new game. I've got to return back, and it's like, yeah, you got some writers on this that, like, when you look at, like, so let's take the writer of Origins, for example. He worked on this game. The writer of Origins worked on this game. Under the guidance of Darby, so much more is here. So much more stuff is here that's, like, good. But then when you lose Darby, what do you end up with? At the best, it's an Origins, but focused on Vikings. I think they'll put out New Game Plus, but I reckon they won't do it until a lot later. I reckon they're going to do it a lot later than they did with Origins and Odyssey. They want to squeeze every ounce of money they can from this first. Big St. George's cross on my back. Look at that, boys. England for the English, am I right? England. It's coming home. It's coming home. This is a great image, actually. This really encapsulates this entire DLC. Wow, they've... Hello? Where has my option button gone? It's gone.